Buckle up, Marvel fans, because one of the most awaited big movies of the Marvel Cinematic Universe has finally been released. Just this November 5th, the latest Marvel movie, Eternals, has finally graced the big screen, and it turned out to be bigger than you think. You may remember that Eternals has been in Marvel fans' waiting list for 2 long years now. That's right before the illness happened and pretty much messed up every single movie in the lineup for what is supposed to be a marvelous 2020. The film Eternals was announced in 2019 at the San Diego Comic-Con with a supposed release date of November 6th, 2020. However, due to some changes in the schedule, courtesy of a certain worldwide event, it had been moved towards an indefinite date, and now, exactly a year after, it has finally been released in the US. Aside from its immersive plot, the Eternals movie has long been in waiting, as it showcases a powerful cast ensemble, weaving together huge names in the industry, such as Angelina Jolie, Kit Harington, Harry Styles, Richard Madden, Gemma Chan, Salma Hayek, Bill Skarsgård, and more. Now, Eternals is a big movie for Marvel, in every sense of the word. And in today's video, we'll be breaking down that one hell of a cliffhanger ending and those post-credit scenes, cause you know it ain't Marvel if it doesn't have post-credits. So, make sure you have watched the whole movie first, because this video will contain major spoilers. And of course, before anything else, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell to get more updates. Now let's begin. The movie takes place after Avengers Endgame, when billions of vanished people return after a 5-year absence and the world is suddenly feeling pretty crowded. The Eternals hail from the planet Olympia and were created by the Celestials to protect intelligent life against the Deviants, who were also created by the Celestials. The Deviants were meant to just hunt predators, but decided to hunt everything, which led to the need for the Eternals. The film's immense runtime, 2 hours and 37 minutes, makes it the second longest Marvel outing after Avengers Endgame. The cast is huge, with the titular Eternals amounting to 10 superpowered characters, all jockeying for screen time. And, of course, the stakes are quite big, as they always seem to be in this franchise. The ending takes some bold swings and asks some even bolder questions. Eternals tries to make sure its viewers are all caught up on the finer points of concepts like Celestials, Deviants, and Emergence before then. Still, it can be a lot to handle. Eternals' ending features some massive cliffhangers, not one, but 2 post-credit scenes, and teases for the MCU's future. And here's what it means for Phase 4 and its main characters. The massive ending shows the general sense that Marvel is looking to change the very fabric of the MCU going forward, so there's a lot to take in. And if that isn't enough, Eternals goes ahead and introduces a new member of the Avengers in its mid-credit scene, and then sets up another character for a heroic arc and the potential path to becoming a member of the Avengers in its post-credit scene. The final scenes of Eternals play out as usual for an ensemble blockbuster. The big threat, which is the birth of Tiamat and the destruction of Earth, has been avoided, and our heroes are left to sort out the effects of that battle on their relationships. In self-imposed penance for turning against Arishem, Icarus hurls himself into the sun. Kingo, who sat out the final battle, adopts Sprite, who is now just a mortal human kid with the memories of an Eternal and has to attend normal human school with a normal human cell phone. And Cersei goes on a walk in the park with her normal human boyfriend, Dane Whitman. Dane is just about to drop some shocking news on Cersei about his own dark secret when all of a sudden, things stop being so happily ever after. Arishem, the Eternals' robot dad, scoops Cersei and several other characters out into space with him. Some who participated in killing Tiamat, and some who didn't, like Kingo and Sprite. They were all very naughty, and they were so grounded. Arishem is taking them away for a while, but says that he will return to Earth at some point in the future to judge whether or not they were right, and if humanity's potential was truly worth more than the potential of the worlds and galaxies Tiamat might have created. And then the movie ends. Now let's talk about some main points. Is Icarus really dead? Eternals' cliffhanger ending includes what appears to be Icarus' death, but is Richard Madden's character really gone? Once he realizes he can't go through with killing Cersei to stop her from preventing Tiamat's emergence, Icarus flies into space and heads straight for the sun. Eternals' ending cuts away from him before his fiery death is explicitly shown, which leaves his MCU fate ambiguous. For what it's worth, It seems that the Eternals believe that Icarus is dead. As Kingo says, it's a shame what happened to Icarus. However, it is unclear how they'd know this. Eternals mid-credits scene explained. The remaining Eternals who weren't killed earlier in the film were taken into space by Arishem. See you later, Cersei and Kingo. Are hanging out on their spaceship at the start of their quest to head out into the galaxy to find more Eternals and Celestials. That means we're dealing with Thena, Druig, and Makari on the Domo, pondering their next move. Here's what the Eternals post-credits scene means for the MCU. While Kit Harington's Dane Whitman doesn't get a lot of screen time in Eternals, it's pretty clear almost from the moment we meet him that Marvel has big plans for the former Game of Thrones star in the MCU. Shortly after we meet him, early in the film, Cersei gifts Dane a ring featuring his family crest. It's a crest that dates back to the Middle Ages. Later on, he makes an offhand remark that my family history is complicated. These are both keys to understanding what's happening in the Eternals post-credits scene. For one thing, Dane's complicated family history is no joke. And the thing we see Dane having anxiety over is the Ebony Blade itself. Think of the Ebony Blade as a kind of reverse Mjolnir, in that it isn't about being worthy, but rather it feeds on negative emotions. You can see there's something otherworldly about the blade as Dane reaches for it, as it appears to hum and vibrate. It might be hard to tell who is doing the talking with that brief line of dialogue, but director Chloe Zhao has confirmed that this scene does in fact mark the first appearance of Blade in the MCU. What does that ending in the post-credits scene mean for Eternals 2? Evaluating the potential worth or ethical metal of an entire planet of sentience is among the things that Celestials are most known for in the Marvel Comics. In a way, the ending of Eternals is more like how most Marvel Comics superheroes first encounter Celestials, as humongous and ineffable cosmic judges. One of the Eternals post-credit scenes further indicates that the next time we see the Eternals, they'll be concerned with whatever Arishem has planned, as Druig, Thena, and Makari meet a couple of unusual allies who say they can help them locate their missing friends. That could be in the sequel to Eternals, or it could potentially be something more. After all, what's a bigger threat than Thanos, the outcast Eternal? Well, there's always the nigh omnipotent Celestials, who created the Eternals in the first place. And certainly, Marvel writers have found ways to bring the superheroic universe together with the more cosmic elements over the years. Considering how complicated the movie's plot was, the resolution seems pretty straightforward. It mostly served to set up the Celestials as a major threat for Phase 4 of the MCU. A sequel will likely see the Eternals going to free their allies from Arishem on the World Forge. Despite Makari's belief that other Eternals will reject their mission once they know the truth, it may not be that simple. Like Icarus, they might think the countless trillions of lives created by the Celestials seeding the process outweigh the billions wiped out by the Emergence. How about you? What do you think Blade wants with Dane Whitman in the Eternals post-credits scene? And what do you think of Harry Styles joining the MCU as Star Fox? Let us know in the comments. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this.